everybody. Welcome to another podcast. Another great time here with Men of Biotropics. As always, we got Jackie behind the scenes over there doing our technical stuff, and she'll have questions or whatever, and she will be paying attention. If you have any questions or your comments or anything particular that you'd like us to talk about and you want us to share, make sure you comment below. And, we will get this all out so that you guys that aren't available to watch it live, you can watch it on we'll have it in a whole bunch of different places. You'll just see. Okay, I'm not going to drop all that down below. But anyways, so let's get into it. So Pat had a question that he wanted to just put out there today to kind of kick this off, and leave it to you.
Yeah, so we were all here last week talking about what got us here and why we were here and things like that. But I just wanted to, ask Brian and Rick here what their opinions, because they're both kind of a different perspective of what coaching brings to the table for what we're doing as far as targeted supplementation with GLP-1s and testosterone therapy. And peptide therapy and vitamin therapy. So I already pretty much think I know what they're going to say. I just want to hear,
It's always a risk, though. It's always a risk.
I think it's going to be good for everybody in the audience to hear their perspective of, what coaching brings to the table in our aspect.
So you want me to kick it up?
Absolutely, bro.
Okay. So from my perspective, as far as with being on, some of the different things with testosterone replacement therapy that I've been on for a little while, most of the time when you go on it, you don't really get coaching. So, you'll go to a doctor or a urologist or someone like that, and they'll put you on and they'll say, okay, take this syringe, take this much, do this, and then that's all you get. You really don't get any monitoring as far as okay, what are the benefits so far? Well, you don't get all you get is, okay, it'll make you feel better, and that's all you really get. You don't really get all the extra stuff that could be more beneficial, to help you out. Like whether your testosterone levels were low, but your estrogen levels were high. I didn't get that part, So there was a lot of particulars with regards to those things that I think with coaching, and working with someone like you and working with Jackie and different things like that, where someone is there to monitor you through the process, and I think that's what's important, is that sometimes people just don't know. Even I had a previous medical background in the military, being a medic and stuff, and I knew how to do injections, but there was no one to teach me how to do injections. I mean, yes, we have YouTube and everything, but people just don't understand that, you could hit the wrong thing. You could inject it in the wrong place.
To clarify, your doctor, when they prescribed it, did not actually tell you how to inject it. They didn't have you come in or sit down with someone to show you.
No, they basically said, listen, these needles are going to come, and then you're going to get these vials, and then just kind of draw this much out, and you can put it in your glutes. Wow. You can put it in your thighs, or blah, blah, and they gave you a couple different things, and that was it. Wow. And then you just kind of figure it out. Half the time, I think there's a lot of people like me and other people that probably just go on YouTube. Yeah. With my medical background, I was fine. But if you don't have a medical background, you don't have a clue. Yeah. So what are they doing? They're going on YouTube. Mm-hmm. They're drawing the wrong amount, or they're doing different things that aren't going to be beneficial to them. And it's not long-term going to give them the benefits that they could get if there was someone there to monitor them a little closely and say, hey, okay, maybe you should also be taking an Astral for your estrogen, or you should be taking, something else to get all these levels together so that you feel 100%. Because TRT is great, but there's other factors involved in that I think a coach can definitely help you progress better and feel better overall.
Right.
But we talked about that last week. Actually, Pat brought that up. He said, he works at the hospital. The hospital's job is to fix what you're feeling now and get you out of there. And that's probably one of the biggest things, the problems that they have is, the doctor, hey, we're going to put you on TRT, but okay, you feel great now, but there's still an underlying problem. What else are they testing you for? And you work with the coaches, Jackie, Pat, so on and so forth, and the rest of the team. we make sure that we hit that underlying thing. We work for you. We're not just one patient in, out, gone, 30 minutes. You're not dealing with a PA. You know, we talked about that. You come in, you see a PA, usually the doctor signs off on it later, so on and so forth. The program that we're running is you're working for a coach that works for you to look for the underlying problem. So we're not just putting a Band-Aid on that and masking getting the problem. We want to find out the underlying problem. It's like me being a personal trainer. I don't believe in writing you a program and giving it to you. You'll never, when people say write me a program, no, I won't do that unless I can see them once or twice a week. I visually want to watch them work out once or twice a week. I don't believe in that. Anybody can write a program. Hey, 3 sets of 12. No, I'm sorry, I don't do that. I want to see you online. I want to FaceTime you. I want to look at you. I don't, I put my stamp and my name on that. I want to see that. So when Pat was saying that last week, we don't want to put a Band-Aid on it. We're coaching you. You're paying money. We want to. If you don't get what you're paying for, you leave. We don't want to put a Band-Aid on something. We want to fix the problem. By fixing the problem, you're going to see progress. So
yeah. So and I think just to clarify a little bit. With what they're saying too is, we are here to coach you, and we're here to, make sure that you understand where you're at and how to fix it. Give you guidance. Be there to answer your phone calls. Be there to answer your text messages. Be there to, if you're having an issue, you can call us, text us. That's the way I run my coaching program. I mainly deal with TRT and weight loss, GLP-1 peptides. And every single one of my clients has my phone number.
we're your support system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the way I run it. And it's completely concierge, white glove type service where you can reach out to me. I've had people text me at 10 o'clock at night, when I'm laying in bed and I answer them. It's just the way I feel that this should be run. And the other thing I want to clarify is that we are guided by very well versed nurse practitioners and an MD now that's coming on board. So where I get my information from is through that medical guidance, and then I translate it to you and I guide you through that process. And I know that's what you do too. So it's like.
And that's important, I think, because that's where the misstep is. Okay, a lot of times when a medical professional breaks something down to you, you don't understand all the jargon. You know what I mean? I mean, they'll break, they say the big thing, this, that, and the other. But to be able to have a person who will sit there and say, okay, in layman's terms, right, your testosterone is low, your estrogen is high. We want to do these things to try to put them all together. Kind of the same thing you're saying with regards to being a personal trainer, where you can actually see them do it. And if they're doing pullbacks incorrectly, listen, I need to be able to tell you, listen, you're just your right elbow. Your elbow's wrong. So I can see that type of thing. So I think that's important because you don't really get that, and I don't think you get that a lot of the mainstream medical,
Oh gosh,
people.
I think what you all have pretty much hit on, even like the comments are going wild about that same thing, is that like when you think of medical care, like Pat's saying, like you can text me. You cannot text your doctor at 9 o'clock. You could try, you're not going to get anywhere, and they just send you on their way. Like Brian shared being on this for so long and like trying to figure out, he had a question. He had to go through that process you go through to be able to talk to your medical professionals. And this is saying, there's somebody there to actually answer those random questions, the little questions that you're like, I don't want to call my doctor for this, but you can text Pat, you could text me, you could text whichever coach that you have that's walking you through this. And that can monitor you. Can I tell the TikTok? Can I tell the crying on TikTok? Oh, I already did. Okay. So here's the situation, where Brian didn't know what was wrong with him because he was crying watching TikTok. Right. Yeah. But and I know that's like, it seems so funny, but could you call your doctor and be like, dude, like, I don't know what's going on, but I watched a TikTok and it made me cry. What do you think's wrong with me? No, you can't. But where you have a coach who actually gets it, all you had to do was say that to Pat, and he was just like, draw his blood. Right? That's because Pat knows what he's talking about, and he's there for you. That's what the comments are saying.
We're a
So
technical team.
rare.
We are your technical support.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that computer right there breaks down, what does Pat do? He calls his technical support to fix it. Okay, we are your technical support. We are here to answer your questions.
And just to also clarify too, this isn't a knock to take away from medical professionals or anything like that. You got to understand how that system, like we've talked about before, is designed to work. They see hundreds of patients a week. They don't have time to coach you. They don't have time to do those things. So, and I think that's what's been missing, and why I started this company, was to provide coaching through medical care and targeted supplementation. And I think that a lot of people are finally seeing what the benefit of having a coach is in this aspect of healthcare. So, thank you guys.
And their hands are tied with insurance protocol. They have a protocol, certain things they got to do. If they go through insurance, they got to do this, they got to do that before they can do anything else.
That's huge. I mean, insurance is a big problem. I mean,
Well, and that's the difference too when you go to a cash pay type of practice rather than an insurance-based practice. That insurance-based practice has to abide by their standard, right?
the guidelines put forth in that.
Yeah, so
Because it's crazy. It's Jackie's seen. I see two medical providers, besides the Biotropics, and I have one in the VA and I have one outside the VA, and they both tell me I should have them both, because if I don't have them both, one can kind of supplement the other. So if one can't do something, the other one will do it. It's like,
and it is a good idea to have. Yeah. Listen, but in no means at all am I ever telling anybody to not ever go
abolish their medical
primary care.
No,
that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying to people is there's another approach that can absolutely help you change your life and make your life much healthier and much more manageable. Yes. So, and by the way, too, I'm not saying that we do anything that is not above board or medically approved. Like, we are FDA approved and sanctioned. And so anything that we do, the pharmacies we use, the doctors we use, we follow FDA protocol and guidelines. So, I think
you're not out back making this in a Nissan.
We have compounding pharmacies that make all this stuff. That's where we're going to get into our first peptide conversation about, and this is probably, I feel, the best peptide available to people, and it's one of the peptides that is geared toward fixing, rejuvenating, replenishing at the cellular level of every single system in your body. It helps, yes, repairing, rejuvenation. It is, for me, it has been life-changing in the fact that I played sports a lot when I was younger, had lots of injuries, lifted a lot of heavy weights when I was younger, abandoned all that for a long time, and my joints just went to hell. I had joint pain constantly, back pain, knee pain, shoulder pain throughout my body, inflammation, basically. Yeah. And I'm not sure if anybody realizes, but inflammation is the root of all disease. Okay. So one of the big things that NAD, this is what we're talking about here tonight, NAD plus, helps with is inflammation. Inflammation, aging and longevity, DNA repair and cancer, immunity, cardiac function, vascular function, kidney function, skeletal and muscle function. So,
the biggest question, I don't mean to cut you off, but the biggest question I think that people will probably want to know is NAD something that's already found in our body?
Absolutely. So,
yes.
Yeah. So NAD is a naturally occurring nucleotide that's in our system already at birth. It works at the cellular level. Basically, it targets the mitochondria of the cell, and it energizes and rejuvenates your cells. And that's why when you're younger, you heal faster. That's why when you're younger, you have more energy and metabolism, because you have an abundant amount of NAD in your system. So, excuse me. As we get older, just like everything else in our system, testosterone, hormones, all these things, NAD does replenish and just go down to the basement, just like everything else, right? So our approach with NAD therapy is to bring that level back up, provide your cells the sufficient energy and repair it needs to repair the rest of your body. And, NAD can be delivered in multiple different ways. There's IV therapy, there's injectable therapy, there's troche, dissolvable therapy. So this is one of the best possible peptide treatments, in my opinion, that we have available. So I just want to touch on it.
So I think peptides are an amazing thing. One of the things I looked up today, and just reading a bunch of stuff and looking up stuff all week, was it says brain function, and it says forming new cells in damaged areas. I worked for American House for a long time, and I worked in the dementia ward. So, and then it says here, it says helps depression, alleviate mood, and reduce anxiety.
Yeah.
As we get older,
You get moody.
Not only do we get moody, but we start forgetting things, and
beating people with our canes.
right. We start forgetting things like that. So damaged cells. I'm a huge believer in peptides. I mean, I run peptides for a little different things, but I really believe in the peptides. So I was looking up all this stuff today. I'm like, brain function, cells in damaged areas, helps depression and things like that. Neurological disorders. Oh man, in DNA repair. And we talked about this. Everybody wants the fountain of youth. Everybody always, I guess that's the biggest thing. Everybody's always looking for the fountain. What can we do to fix ourselves? Everybody's getting collagen, this, that, shots, TRT replacement. So far, this is the best thing out there. Imagine if you take this with TRT, got your blood work done.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending. And you don't have to use us, but just think about that.
Yeah.
Science proves that this will work.
Oh, yeah.
Now, here's the problem that I have with this. I Googled some stuff today. I wanted to see, and here's the problem that a lot of people aren't going to understand. It goes from $40 at GNC, and here it's advertised as pharmaceutical grade, up to $372.
Yeah.
I guarantee the shit that you buy at GNC is not what we're putting on, right?
Well,
but here it is. So when I want people to realize that, because they're going to go online and go, oh, I could buy this stuff at GNC or here, over here at Vitamin World. It's not the same thing. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, that's absolutely something that comes up in all of my conversations when we go to close.
Like, I get that off Amazon?
Yeah, well, you can get any supplement that you want over the counter, pretty much, if it, as long as it's approved to be sold over the counter. The problem is, number one, the quality is not going to be there.
Exactly.
Number two, you don't know what you're getting in that supplement because of all the fillers and all the other stuff that's in there. And number three, your body's probably not going to absorb it properly. So what the difference is in the NAD that we provide is that the NAD that we provide is from a bioidentical hormone compounding facility. That means that what we give you is designed to be absorbed by your body because it's bioidentical. So I'm going to read the definition of bioidentical to everybody here, so they understand what that means.
Well, that's what I was trying to bring up. I just want people to run out and go, oh, why get this at GNC
They said we should
for
get
$20?
NAD. That's NAD.
Right.
Right? No, it's true.
So
6 months later, like they don't know what you're talking about because it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
So just the definition base is bioidentical hormone therapy is a treatment that uses hormones that are chemically identical to the hormones the body produces naturally. So they are able to produce the exact same chemically identical hormone at these compounding pharmacies. And yeah, it's a little more expensive than buying it over Amazon. Okay. But I'm telling you right now, it is the best thing I've ever taken in my life.
Quality wise.
The quality, it's sterile. Number one, it's sterile. That's number one. So there's not going to be any contaminants in it.
But you get what you pay for.
Well, yes, obviously.
You're going to get the effects that you pay for.
But those are the main things. Number one, it's sterile. Okay. Number two, it's designed to be identical to what's already in your body. Okay, so there's nothing synthetic about it, right? You know, and like I said, I've been on it for a while. My wife has been on it. I've put a lot of people on it, and I have had nothing but positive.
So I think here's two different, so Rick, you could think about this question that I have for you, but I'm gonna ask Brian one while you're thinking about this one, but like how this from a trainer's point of view can help someone who is lifting in the gym and, you know, trying to whatever their goals are and from the fitness point of view. So, but hold on to that. So Brian, I think it'd be good for you to share like from like a client point of view on, well, because you've just decided to start NAD. So it's on order. But like, what was it for you that made you say, this is what I want for you yourself personally?
I think for me, it's, you know, I work out now and it's like, I'm the pain, you know, the pain in my joints and everything else. I mean, after 30 years of public service, my body is like, all right, you know, did beat it to death. So I think for me overall, being able to like replenish cells and just be able to fix some of the bad things that I got going on, you know, from some of my research, I have arthritis in my right knee and my right foot, you know, and I've heard that it's phenomenal for that, you know. So the benefits that you can get from this, I mean, not as far as following youth, but maybe just relief, you know, from the inflammation that happens from what I do. You know, Rick beats me down. I think that's what I'm looking for. You know, I don't want to look younger because I already.
Oh my God, stop it.
But you know, I don't need to look young or anything. I just want to feel good overall, so that, you know, health wise.
But it will make you at some point look younger. I mean, this is something.
All right, but I mean, come on. Does he have to look younger?
Yes. Listen, for everybody that's listening, okay? I don't care what you look like. For everybody that's listening, this will help with your hair. It will help with your skin. It will help with your fingernails. It will help with you know, your metabolism. It will help you burn fat. It will help you build lean muscle mass. It will help you do all of these things, because what this product is doing, what this peptide is doing, is it doesn't just target one part of your system or one system out of all. We have 7 systems in our body, right? So it is going to target every single system in your body, and it's going to rejuvenate and replenish the levels of NAD at every single level. Yeah. So this is why I believe that NAD is the most beneficial beneficial peptide that we have available. And we can next time we'll get into sermorelin and how we combine both of them together, which is kind of the effect of growth hormone.
Wow.
So there's a lot of information to go over with these peptides, and we're just starting to scratch the surface of it. So I'll let you guys.
But yeah, I'm excited, and after I start taking it, you know, I will let you guys know. Follow me on my page, but I'll let him answer the.
And I think this, but before we move on to Rick, because this is gonna be a good conversation, but I think it's important to note that this also goes back to the coaching conversation, because for you, you were already working with Pat and be able to have the conversation, the consultation to say, is this right for me? Which goes back to what Rick said about walking in a GNC and whatever that 15-year-old behind the counter told you should buy, because there's someone like me who you guys are listening to right now, right? So I'm the health coach for Biotropics, but I also had to do the consult to say, can I have that? And someone like me cannot have NAD because I'm under surveillance for breast cancer. But if I didn't actually have a medical professional to turn to and say, is this right for me? I wouldn't know that. I might walk into GNC and go, well, I want to do that. Important. And I cannot, I should not. And having Pat, and the rest of the medical team to say, nope, okay, so this is not right for you, but let's talk about what is. And so it just circles back to why the full services here are really important instead of just buying a supplement.
You just nailed that, because anybody in GNC, Vitamin World, and stuff like that is not going to know if you're supposed to take that. If you have
Yeah,
they make $15 an
it'll
hour.
make you feel
They don't
good.
know. Like, they're like, here, I get paid for selling you this. It's your job to know. And that's where they get along on all supplements. Like, do not take this supplement without seeing a doctor's recommendation first. That's how they do it.
Nobody actually does
So,
that, though, right?
right. Everybody watch this podcast tonight if they don't, I'm around by getting NAD. And
they're like, NAD's 2 for $10 at GNC this week.
right. And it's not the same thing.
And just to clarify what I said about it's beneficial to everybody. It is beneficial to everybody, but like Jackie said, and that's what's important about having our nurse practitioner, Melanie Jones, and our new MD. As soon as everything's ironed out, I'll be letting you guys know who that is.
How many people know how many people know that somebody has dementia or Alzheimer's disease right now? Okay, so that's a big thing.
It's huge.
Okay, and as we get older, all of a sudden the stuff just hits you. I've seen it because, like I said, I work there. So people come in, they have AL, IL, and next thing you know, they're in a dementia unit. And peptides can help that long-term brain function.
Yeah, and if you start young enough,
preventative,
right?
Especially if you
Preventative
have it.
The problem is, like, I don't know about how much all the research is once you're already at that position. I'm sure it helps, but if you and I start this now,
right,
or these people start this now when they're in their 30s, 40s, 50s,
right?
Then look at it. If you look it up, it is the most popular peptide amongst celebrities, amongst professional athletes, and amongst a lot of other people that are able to do these things, and they do it at a very high level. So, look at Tom Brady.
So let's just talk about peptides.
Tom Brady looks good.
Talk about peptides for a minute. So a lot of people, peptides. So I took TRT, I took steroids without a doctor's prescription, all this stuff. TRT came out. I trained an MD, and she said to me, and she's like, "Hey, I got a med spa, blah, blah, blah. Rick, I want you to try this. MK677.
Yeah.
I want you to try this. You're going to eat. I couldn't stop eating.
Yeah.
I'd make 6 peanut butter sandwiches at night, get up and eat them, leave them on the counter, get up, eat one every 2 hours. You can't stop eating. I gained 27 pounds in 3 months. My bench went from 315 to 405, like now. I broke a world record last year, 1,153 reps, 135 in 1 hour.
Well, you guys didn't know that Rick over here is a world record holder.
135 pounds, 1,153 reps in 1 hour.
So let's let you guys know we're not dealing with amateurs here.
And
they know what they're talking about.
And the peptides really helped. I was on the peptides, the MK677 and the RAD 140, and wow. And then I started believing in the peptides. I'm like, wow, she put me on the stuff. But once again, it was pharmaceutical grade. I had a prescription for it. And I went, a pharmacy and picked it up. And everybody's like, oh, you can buy this stuff here, you can buy this stuff there. And let me tell you something. Yeah. I was paying a lot of money for the 677 at the time. I got off it because it started popping up at GNC and here and there. And let me tell you something. No, that's garbage.
You know what else is so just to touch on that, back in November, and this is why people should understand that this stuff really works, in my opinion. So there's a few peptides that were taken off the market by the FDA.
Right.
And there's a few things that have happened behind the scenes that I've experienced where if things are too effective, they take them away because it affects the sales of pharmaceuticals, right? So that 677, we used to have access to that, but now it is gone.
Yep.
And they don't allow it anymore. So
sporting events, NFL, NBA, they all it's an illegal substance now.
Yeah.
And because the effects on that stuff are, it's like being on steroids. It really is. It's great. And everybody just watch out there, take a little test with that, 677, the MK 677, the RAD 140, and a little test. Best thing I ever run. Not that I'm telling you to do that without your doctors, but
Well, they're not going to be able to get it. So anyway.
So NAD in fitness. So finally to get back to that, Rick. So for your clients that are, they're working out, they're training in the gym, they're lifting weights, they're putting them back down. How can this help them?
Okay, so when I was reading up on this, this whole week I was looking at this, so it says here, it helps with DNA repair, cellular metabolism. So it's going to help with muscle repair. It's going to help with your metabolism, evaluate mood, and reduce anxiety. This is all stuff that we handle in the gym. How many people walk in there, they're having a bad day, they don't want to be at the gym all the time, or so a lot of people come because they're in the gym because of depression or things of that nature. But the biggest thing I watched was DNA repair and cellular metabolism. I actually wrote that down today because that's huge.
That's key right there.
That's key.
Yeah.
And we're doing this DNA study where you can send us your DNA and we're gonna get a book like this and send it back to you and tell you what's wrong with you and how to fix that. So looking at this stuff today, this NAD, and reading it up on it, and he said, all the celebrities doing that, all this stuff.
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing celebrities want to do since day one? Yeah. I'm not going to name them all, but they all want to look great.
The Kardashians,
Justin Bieber, Kardashians. There's so many.
They've all had
all of them.
Plastic surgery over the years. This, that, and thing. And why? Because they can afford it, and everybody always wants to look good. Okay, you want to take care of yourself. You want to live the best life ever. All I can tell you is I went on here today and I Googled it. And you can Google. There's good, there's bad, there's ugly. But look at research. Okay? Look at the research that's been done. Research doesn't lie. Okay? That's the one thing I will tell you. You can look. It's like the egg. Eat eggs. 10 doctors say it's bad for you. 10 doctors say it's great for you. The one thing I will tell you, if you look up side effects, there's nothing on it that will hurt you.
Right.
So if you take this and you feel great and it works for you, why not take it? Okay. All the research says it works. I've not taken it. I'm gonna let Brian take it. No, but here's okay. This is new to me. I'm not gonna lie. This is new to me. So I'm doing my research.
Right.
But when I took the peptides and the RAD 140 and the MK 677, it works for me. And I love the peptides. Peptides are new. It's the new fountain of youth. It really is.
I'm glad you said that because it is. I like, and we'll get into this one next week, is Sumorlin. The combination of those two, really, in my opinion, is the closest thing to the fountain of youth that you're going to get. Sumorlin is another peptide that targets your pituitary gland to create its own growth hormone again, like you did when you were in your 20s and 30s. So
and who doesn't want that?
Touch on that next week. Right?
Amazing.
Who doesn't want that?
Yeah. So the combination of those two together, you're repairing the cells at the cellular level, and then you're producing more growth hormone from your own system, the way you did when you were younger. So
immortality. Who doesn't want immortality?
Yeah.
Well, think about it. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing for me, and I just want to not be as sore like when I was a little younger.
And it does help with that. It's recovery, and it helps
The
with
recovery.
Like I said, the inflammation part of it.
Now, if I get a couple of wrinkles out of it.
You don't have.
And the fact that you cried watching some show, it's okay.
Yeah. Well, that was because
it's all right. One of my best friends cries when he watches movies all the time. Too.
But I cried yesterday when I saw the thing about you telling Jackie, "Be all right, you take the cancer from him." Your biggest weakness is your biggest strength. And your biggest weakness is your biggest love. So I support you in that, bro. I do. That's.
I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna make you.
You're so cute.
We just scored big points with all the women out there. You know that, right?
I know, right? Like they're like, oh, I'm that cute. All right, so.
That's why you crying.
All right, suck it up, Buttercup. Suck it up.
Listen,
give me a tissue.
Real about it.
Amazing conversation. Well, if you guys want more information,
Mike Tyson said it.
Oh, we're still going.
What you gonna say?
He did say that.
Something.
He did say that.
Anyway,
He's not Mike
that's
Tyson. What are they gonna say? Shout out to Mike Tyson if you'd like some NAD.
Right.
Comment below, Mike.
Definitely.
You're gonna need it after tomorrow night. So if you do, I have questions. I have so many questions. We have answers, my love. And so if you have questions about NAD, just drop NAD below, and we will reach out to be able to like talk to you, give you more information, see if we can provide services for you, and we'll connect so that you can do a free consult and all those kind of things. And so just drop NAD below so that we can have a conversation. And remember, so no, next Thursday night, 6 p.m., they're going to talk about, I still can't say it, Sir Moreland. See? You don't have to know all the things to be able to do this kind of stuff, but definitely let us know if you have any questions and if you want more information. And these guys, like, you guys are so well behaved tonight. I was like really proud of you.
No waitresses are mad at me from last week.
We're gonna end before we reiterate. All right, you guys have a great night.
Thanks for your time. Have a good night.
See you next week.